Everyone, and welcome to the video for creating budgets within GP. My name is Isam Asan, and I am the ERP consultant at ADM. I'm excited to show you budgeting within GP. So let's go and get started. Just a quick little thing. So this is the agenda for today. We're gonna keep it very simple and very brief. We're gonna start off with a quick introduction, and then I'll jump right into GP, and then at the end of it, we'll kind of wrap up. We usually do webinars on a consistent basis, but this was something that was highly requested, but it didn't obviously fit in with the webinars, with the way we run our webinars. So we decided, you know what, hey, let's go ahead and set up an online video, and this way, at least anybody who's interested could have a look at the webinar. And of course, if there's anything else that you want us to kind of do in the future, if there's anything, you want us to kind of go in more detail, please feel free to email us at info@gp365.ca, and we'll obviously think about it, or we'll talk about it, and we'll see what we can do to kind of help with that process. Okay, so who are we? As I mentioned earlier, we're going to do a quick little introduction. Who are we? Who am I? What do we do? What are we all about? What are we all about? So we are ADM, and we've been in business since the 2000s. We've been a Microsoft partner since 2002, and we're actually one of the premier Microsoft partners. What we do is, if we have existing clients, we basically support them, and if we have new clients, we basically help, roll out GP and see what we can do to kind of make it customizable to their business and see what we can do. We're also a proprietor of GP365, which is a platform which brings GP to the cloud and allows us to add functionality as a SaaS model. For more information about that, please feel free to reach out to us at info@gp365.ca, and we can kind of go through everything there. All right, so that is us. So now let's talk about budgets. What do we all came for? So what are budgets? Well, budgets are very simple. They're basically a financial plan for a period of time, and they're usually over the span of a year. And budgets are very helpful because, you can compare your performance and see how you did, see what you're going to plan out against. They're an important part of a business, and usually a lot of businesses, do budgeting, and this is something that's very key to their business because they want to see how they do. What is something that we're predicting for? How can we actually evaluate or measure our performance if we have no measurement, right? So that's essentially why budgets are very important. And obviously, they also help in evaluating the performance of specific managers, departments, or just the business as a whole. So we're going to be talking about budgets within GP, and I'm going to be showing you how do you basically use budgeting within GP. Now, I'm going to be showing you using two scenarios. Scenario number one is going to be the most painful process because that's the process that you're going to be using. If you didn't know, there was like a better way. And then the second process, of course, is going to be a lot faster, a lot smoother, a lot more efficient. So I'm going to be using these scenarios, and they kind of build upon one another, so don't feel too bad. And so don't feel like, hey, what's all this? So don't worry. I'll kind of explain the scenario first, and then we'll jump into GP. So we have scenario one. We have a wonderful owner named Alex. He's the manager or owner. He's the owner of a small company and basically wants to create a budget for the upcoming year. He has never actually created the budget before, and he's wondering, how can he do this within GP faster? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to help Alex out here. We're going to create a budget using GP. But, Alex is kind of new, so he says, hey, you know what? I'm just going to create a budget in GP, and he's going to create a budget using the Dynamics GP budget tool. So we're gonna go ahead and see what that looks like. And of course, this is going to be the way which is a little bit more cumbersome. It's not as productive or as efficient as you would like. We're going to see how that's done. So to create budgets within GP, what we need to do is we need to go to the financial series at the bottom here. Under the card section, we're going to go to the budget screen. So I'm going to click budgets. I'm going to get a little pop-up, and you can see that you have already existing budgets. So to create a new budget, we're going to click the new button here, click on the drop down, and we're going to create it using Microsoft Dynamics GP. And then in the second scenario, we'll create it using Microsoft the budget wizard for Excel, which of course is the faster way, the more efficient way. But let's just Alex just wants to he wants to pay the dues. He wants to do it using GP. So we're going to create a budget ID first, and of course this one's going to be our 2018 master. All right, and we'll give it a description, 2018 master budget. All right, perfect. And of course, it's going to be for the fiscal year of 2018. Now, on the right-hand here, you're going to see this radio button for actual and preliminary. So what exactly is the difference between the two radio buttons? Well, if you have preliminary selected, any changes that you make within this window will not update the budget when you hit save. Basically, it gives you the option to review and make changes before you go ahead and update the budget. So that's the main difference. So for the purpose of the example, we're just going to go ahead and select actuals. All right. So from now, what I'm going to do is to actually start entering in the budget. I can use this lookup here to go to a specific account, specific GL accounts are entering the value there, or I can simply click this arrow here and it'll take me to the next available account. From here, once I'm in here, I can go ahead and start entering in the value. So let's just say for our operating account, we are budgeting that we're going to have $100,000 here. Never mind, 1 million. That's a very good mistake. And then we're going to have 100,000, or no, 1,000. So we're all over the spectrum. All right. Perfect. Let me just go ahead and enter in a few values here. And of course, once I'm done, I can go to the next account. And as soon as I do, I get a little pop-up saying, are you sure do you want to save the changes or delete the budget? I'm going to go and hit save. All right. And I can go in and go through the various accounts and enter in my values that way. Now, obviously, this is a very cumbersome and a very long procedure. It's going to take forever to do this. So this is the painful method that we were talking about with Alex earlier. So you can see here it updates GP and the values have been uploaded, and we can see a running total at the bottom here. So, like I said, this process is going to take forever, and Alex is a busy man. He's got a lot of stuff to do, so he wants to know there's a faster way to do this. Well, Alex is in luck. There is. But let's go ahead and make this a little bit more complex. Now let's add on a few more things to this scenario. So again, similar to scenario 1, but this time, Alex has now hired 2 additional managers. He's hired a sales manager as well as an accounting manager. Basically, what Alex is going to do is he's going to create 2 more budgets. He's going to send one to the accounting manager and one to the sales manager. He's going to have them both fill in their values, and then he's going to enter that into GP. Well, that presents a little bit of a problem for him, doesn't it? Because now he's going to have to create 3 different budgets. So what can GP do to help? Well, what GP can do is once he sends out those budgets to the individual managers and they enter in their values and send it back to Alex, he can combine them. So instead of having to, go in there and manually combine them, GP will actually combine them for you. And I'm going to go ahead and show you what that looks like. But essentially what he wants to do in this scenario is he's going to create those 2 budgets for those 2 department managers. And he wants to make sure that they don't see what the other manager is putting into his budget, obviously, for obvious reasons, because, he wants to make sure everything is smooth, everything's fine. No, nobody is saying, hey, why is this guy getting more budget than I am? So to avoid all this, what he's going to do is he's going to create 2 brand new budgets, one just for the sales manager to update his information and one just for the accounting manager to update his information. So how can we do this in GP? Well, to do this in GP, what Alex is going to do is he's going to go ahead and create 2 new budgets. So we're going to go ahead and X out of this. But this time, when we create our budget, we're going to create them using the faster way, because obviously he doesn't want the managers to come in, log into the budget screen, and type in their values one by one. That'll take forever. So he wants to do it a faster way. So we're going to go ahead and create a budget using the Excel wizard. So to do that, I'm going to go and click on the new button here, select using budget wizard for Excel. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and click next. I'm just going to type in an ID here. So let's say 2018 Master ACC for accounting. All right, 2018 Master Budget Accounting. All right, and obviously it's for the fiscal year of 2018. Once I've selected all these options, you obviously have the option of choosing a date range as well, but for now, we'll just go ahead and select the fiscal year. I'm going to click next, and in the next pop-up, I essentially have these four options. And what are they? So basically, if you select open year percentage, what this basically does is it'll calculate it'll create your budget based on the actuals for the current year. And you can type in, if you want it to be 5% increase or and so on and so forth. But for now, we're not going to do that. So that is what the open year percent is. And the other one is other budget, which is essentially just based on your previous budgets, which have already been created. Then we have historical year percentages, which are based on the budgets in history. And then, of course, we have blank budget, which is essentially where you're just creating a blank budget in Excel for the specific items that accounts that you want to populate, which is what we're going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and click blank budget, hit next here. And if you want to see, what the budgets were from last year, you can also go ahead and select these options here, and it'll simply put it into the Excel file. But for now, we don't need to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and click next. And then from here, you can specify which accounts you want, which account types do you want to be included in your budget. Most people just budget for their profit and loss account. So we're going to just go ahead and select that. But you have the option of selecting the balance sheet, profit and loss, as well as unit accounts to be included in your budget. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and select the profit and loss. All right, and then in the next prompt here, I can specify a range. If I don't do that, it'll simply create a budget with every single account that I have, but I don't want to do that because I only want the accounting manager to send me the information for his department. I'm going to choose a segment, and I'm going to create a little filter here to filter by division. So I only want the accounting division's GL accounts to be included in this budget. So I click on this search here, and I can go ahead and choose the accounting division. Obviously, you can filter by specific. You can filter by additional segments as well. You could do account or department, but for the purpose of this example, we've just gone ahead and selected the accounting division. All right, once you're ready, simply go and click this arrow button here, and it's going to add that division. So this way, it's only going to pull in the accounts for that division. So once I click next, I can see all of the accounts within that division, and you can kind of use this as you can use this window just to kind of see if something was missed or something needs to be added. And if you want to add something, you can click the add account here, and then you can add the specific account from this list to this here. But for now, everything seems to come through. But again, this just serves as a way to kind of review your information before you go ahead and generate that Excel budget. All right, once I'm done, I'm going to go ahead and click next. And this is going to ask me if I want to create an existing, create a new workbook, or if I want to create update an existing workbook. For now, I'm just going to go ahead and say, let's create the new workbook. So I'm going to click next, and it just gives me a little summary of all the information or all the options that I selected in the budgeting wizard. I'm going to go ahead and click finish, and it's going to create the budget for me. So it's just asking me to create a name for the budget. So we're just going to call this 2018 Master Budget Accounting. All right, and I'm just saving it on my desktop for ease of ease of accessibility. But of course, you can save it wherever you store your budgets. Once I'm done, I'm going to go and click open. All right, and it's going to open up the budget for me, and I can see all of my accounts here. So I have these accounts for my accounting division, and I have the individual period. So because I selected blank budget, it's putting in 0 values here, so I can go in and enter in the values. So maybe in the first period for my salaries and wages, I'm estimating I'm budgeting that it's going to cost me this much. All right. All right, and if you go to the end here, you have a little running total of the amounts that have been entered into the individual accounts. All right, for the purposes of this example, I'm not going to go and fill in everything. I'm just going to fill in a few here. So let's just say 500 here. All right, and once I'm done, I'm going to go and hit save. Now, usually what would have happened is Alex at this point would have saved the blank budget, and he would have sent it to the accounting manager. And the accounting manager would have opened the Excel file, entered in his values. Once he was happy with it, he would have hit save, and he would send it back to Alex. All right. So we just entered the values. I'm going to close it, and I'm going to do this again, but this time I'm going to do it for the sales manager. So again, we're going to create a new budget using Excel, using the Excel wizard. All right. Oh, hang on. 2018 master sales. 2018 master budget, if I can spell. Perfect. And of course, it's for my fiscal year of 2018. I'm going to click next. And again, just like I did previously, it's going to be a blank budget. And I'm going to go and just show you the history this time. I'm going to click next here, profit and loss accounts. Great. And again, it's going to be for my sales division. So I'm going to click on this little look up here and only include the accounts from my sales division. I'll insert this filter and I can view the all the accounts here. Again, it's a great way to just kind of make sure what you've selected is correct. And I'll create a new workbook. Great. Hit finish. And we're just going to call this one sales. Perfect. Once I'm done, I'm going to click open, and it's going to open up that Excel file for me. So of course, this just saved a copy of it for me, the blank file, which I would then email to or just kind of print out or do whatever I need to do to get it to my sales manager. At which point he would go in, he would have a look at the values, he would have a look at the budget, the blank budget essentially, he would enter in the values. And because I selected the history, if I look at the bottom here, I can see the tabs here, so I can see 2016. These are the values that were previously there, and these were the amounts that we budgeted. All right, but obviously, this company, it's brand new, it's never done a budget before, but if you've been doing budgets for a couple of years, you can obviously pull in the histories here. You can see it that way. Okay, so over here, we're going to enter some values for the sales manager here. All right, and of course we have the running total at the last column. Again, then I'm going to go ahead and hit save. All right, and I'm just going to close the file. Great. So now we can see that we have two Excel files. We have the accounting Excel file for the budget, and then we have the accounting Excel file for the budget. All right, so I've gone ahead and created the budgets, and I've avoided having to share information or letting the two managers see how much they're budgeting for each department. It's become a lot more productive because I can give them a file, get them to work on it, and once they're done, they send it back to me, and I can go from there. So now that I've created the files and I've sent it to them and they've gone and entered their values, we're going to go ahead and import those values within GP, because obviously at the moment these are just blank budgets that we've created. GP doesn't know right now that the sales manager or the accounting manager went in and made any changes. So to bring those values in, we're going to go ahead and click on this Excel drop down here, and we're going to click import from Excel. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to import those values to an existing budget, because once they sent it back to me and I saved it, I'm going to go ahead and upload those. So to do that, I select the option to import the budget to an existing budget, and let's go ahead and start off with the sales budget. And go ahead and click next here, and it's going to ask you to select the file you want to upload, which of course is my sales budget file here. And it lists out all of the sheets that we have within that budget. Because I've updated the master 2018 budget, that's the file name here. Obviously we have the history, which is not what we're doing, but you have the option of selecting the different sheets within the worksheet. All right, I'm going to go and select this, click next. All right, perfect. It's going to go through and it's going to bring in all those values and it's going to update it. So now my sales budget has been updated. I'll do the exact same thing for the accounting budget, and then we'll go ahead and see if they've actually brought in the balances. So again, I'm going to go ahead and import from Excel, click next here, update an existing budget, which of course is going to be my accounting budget here. Click next. All right, I'm going to browse, select the file, and you can see here, because I never extracted any history when I was creating the accounting budget, I don't see those additional sheets. I just see the sheet that I updated with the values. All right, perfect. So I've gone ahead and updated all the information. Now all the information is brought in. Now, if I want to go back and see if it's actually been uploaded, I can do that. So I'm going to close this, and under financial series, under the card section, we're going to go to account here. We're going to choose a specific account. So let me just go ahead and filter for my specific segment here. So let's do a custom sort. I'll do segment 1 here, and let's just say I want to see all the values for my accounting division. So I'll go ahead and type in 200, hit tab here. Great. these are the values. Okay, I've selected my accounts. Then at the bottom here, I simply click the budget button. It's going to open up the budget. It's going to ask me to select the budget ID, which of course is my accounting budget here. All right, and you can see I've updated the values here. So I have $10,000 in the first period and so on and so forth. All right, and it's also got a running total there. And of course, if you made some mistakes or if you wanted to change any values, you can always come in and make the changes here. So, but for now, we're going to leave that as is. And you would do the exact same thing if you wanted to see the sales budget was updated. So I'm going to go ahead and just select my sales budget here. I'm going to change the account. All right, here we go. And I can see my values for my sales budget. Perfect. So that is how you could go in and to confirm if the values have been uploaded into GP. All right. So now that I've done that, I need to go in and kind of clean up a little bit after myself. I have 3 budgets within GP. I need to combine them, and I don't want to manually do that. So how can I use GP to my advantage? So to do that, we're going to go into the budgets screen here again. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine the budget. So after I've selected this budget, I'm going to go ahead and click on Open, and I'm going to say Combine Budgets using Microsoft Dynamics GP. Great. I'm going to open here, and once I've opened the budget here, I'm going to go ahead and just hit Combine Budget at the top. It's going to ask me which are the budgets that you want to combine. So I have obviously where I want the information to be, which is my master budget. I'm going to click the search button here, and I'm going to select a different budget, the second budget that I want to combine, which of course is going to be my accounting budget. All right, and to kind of clean up after myself, I'm going to click this radio button where it'll delete this accounting budget once it processes it. So once the values have been uploaded into my master budget, it's going to delete that budget for me, just so that it's a lot cleaner and I don't have a huge variety of budgets that I can see there. All right, so once I'm done, I'm going to go ahead and click Process. All right, process was successful. Okay. All right, I'm going to do the same thing again here, just to upload the sales budget. So I want to update into my master budget, and I want to upload my sales budget. Great. And I want to delete my sales budget after it's combined. So again, I'll hit Process here. Perfect. All right, so now I've gone ahead and combined my budget. So if I go back here, I see only one budget here, which is my master budget. And to see if my values have been combined, I can click on the Excel button here and hit Export to Excel. So what it's going to do is it's going to put this budget into a new workbook for me. It's going to show me all the values in that budget. So we'll just call this 2018 master budget combined. All right, I'm going to go ahead and click Open. Okay, so that we can see all of the values that we've entered in and all the values which were updated. So we have our cash operating account here, which was the first budget that we created. Because we combined it into our master budget, it's also pulling in the values from there. And then we have, of course, our accounting as well as our sales manager and all the entries they've made. And if we go, of course, at the edge, we have a running total, and we also have a total at the bottom of the Excel file. All right. So that is how you can create the various budgets, the budgets within GP, and you can kind of create departmental budgets as well. Send them out to your department managers, have them fill it in, and combine them in GP to make it a lot smoother. All right. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope this video was helpful, and it's gonna help you basically utilize GP a lot better. If you like the video, please feel free to like, comment, and share this video. And of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to email us at info@gp365.ca. All right, thank you for your time, and until next time.